No, you haven't missed anything, Ashes. Welcome back, everybody, to the Banner Saga Let's Play. I'm your host, Saigan. Let's get back to it. We're trying to get out of this horrible, horrible damn town. We gotta leave. Outside the walls, things are a mess. Dredge are everywhere. Fortunately, they're going around the hill on which the Frostveller sits, heading south, and show little interest in following you as you cross into the wastes. You're finally free of Frostveller, but find yourself facing new problems. You hope whoever Ivor knows at Wyrmtoe is willing to help. We only have a couple of days of supplies, and that's after dumping most of our renown into it. I think I have too many people. This is gonna suck. People are gonna start starving soon. We're not going to be able to afford to rest at all. We're just going to have to keep pushing forward. Someone's been nicking extra goods from the supplies, a concerned woman tells you. Counted these myself yesterday, no mistake. This keeps up, we'll all be starving before long. Can post a few extra guards to watch the supplies. Ask clansmen if they've seen anything suspicious. Announce that any more missing supplies results in rationing. We'll post extra guards. To deter any further theft, you discreetly place some trusted guards by the caravans. You hear a few people casually point out the extra manpower, but nobody seems to raise an alarm. Oh god, this is gonna suck. Well, things are gonna be going downhill. Did we find a camp? Oh my god. We don't have any renown, though, to buy fucking goods. You find a surprising number of people camped out at the Godstone. They've been here for quite a while, ever since the sun stopped. Apparently they think that Radormir, the sun god, has come back, and they're worshipping him despite the bleak environment. They welcome the caravan, mingling and swapping stories with the others while you rest. They have almost nothing of value to trade, but their leader approaches and offers to let you join in their tribute. What does the tribute involve? Gullinfury, one says, showing you a golden liquid in a silver bowl. He places some on his chest, which almost sounds like it's sizzling, and explains through clenched teeth that it's a gift from the sun god, an oil that burns like the sun and lets them see things clearly. Can see if anybody in the caravan is interested. Not surprisingly, you find no takers. You wonder how devoted you'd have to be to go in for it yourself. Inspect the Godstone before departing. Nobody can really agree on what Radormir looked like, as fond as he was of his own isolation. He never directly contacted humanity. Most think he was a serpent that lived in the sun, and it's not uncommon to hear speak of seeing the tail of a great creature slipping through the thin clouds on a sunny day. Radormir was always one of the lucky gods, the kind who people thanked for good weather, healthy livestock, and good harvest. Despite all that, the biggest mystery has always been how his godstone came to be found at the bottom of a dried-out lake. After some rest, you continue on. The sun god worshippers are keen to stay, so you pack your things and return to the road. We are going to starve to death in a wasteland. Ah! Got another achievement, though. Godstone Radormir. We are so fucked. We are so fucked. We are officially out of supplies. Several people have noticed black vultures circling above the caravan, taking advantage of the light snowfall. They pose no threat, but they have a visible impact on the mood of your clansmen. Next time you look back, Oddleaf is firing arrows into the air, which nearly tag the birds once or twice. Get lost, no dead down here, she shouts to nobody in particular. What are you doing? Let her get out some aggression. Ask her to stop wasting arrows. Join her in shooting at the vultures. First person to knock one out of the sky gets their wish granted, you announce. Several of the caravan give it a try, including Alette, enjoying the sport and turning around morale. It's no big surprise when one of Oddleif's blue feathered arrows bring down a bird. You know, says Oddleif, scanning the caravan, a lot of these women, they could do this. You can tell from the look in her eyes that she's excited about the idea. I think it's time to start training them how to fight, she says. Encourage Oddleif to train the women. Absolutely. I don't even have to look at the other options. We can always use more fighters, you tell Oddleif. If Alette is any proof, you know how to train someone with a bow. Oddleif gives you a smile. She heads off to some of the women in the caravan, showing them the vulture she shot down. I was kind of hoping that we might be able to eat it. We're gonna die. We're gonna start losing clansmen. Yep. People are starving to death. While walking, the words of a mother's song reach you. It's soothing, nuanced, and about your current journey. When she finishes, a man begins a tale of his own in verse. The woman quickly responds with another poem, and the entire caravan slows to listen to the entertaining competition. Join the crowd and cheer on the competitors. We need to stay vigilant. Out here, really? Ignore the poetry content and keep an ear out for danger. Join in with verse of your own. We're going to let them have their fun because morale sucks right now, but I'm going to continue paying attention. The male contestant soon admits defeat, and the clansmen quickly march on, thankful for the lighthearted distraction. Oh, forest, woods. Are we almost out of the wastes? We might make it. Ahead, you find what appears to be a good number of peasants surrounded by brigands. One of the armed men looks over his shoulder and says, "Gods be damned, this is all I need. Listen, don't interfere, and one of these supply wagons is yours." While remaining silent, the peasants plead to you with their eyes. Shit. We really need the food. But Wormtail's coming up. And they'll probably share some supplies with us if we help to defend them. God damn it. What's going on here? Nothing concerning you, he replies, and before you start telling me otherwise, these are my clansmen. Thought they could run off with every scrap of food in the village. Now all I want is you to move on, so take your share or don't. I find that believable enough. I'm a terrible person, but I would rather feed a few hundred of my clansmen and save them than I'm going to feel guilty about any option that I choose here. You nod, and a few of your men take hold of the supply wagon, bringing it into the caravan. Other clansmen take a bit of coaxing. They eventually turn their backs to the scene and move on, but in lower spirits. Whatever.
Wormtail was never the kind of place someone would build a town. Fittingly, the Var living here aren't known for welcoming visitors with open arms.
The Var will find you before you see them. Not surprising with this many people behind you. With weapons drawn, they demand to know why you're here. But back down when Ivor tells them he's come to see someone named Krumer. What's up, Krumer? It's been a long time. Yeah, it has. What brings Yngvar to Wormtail with his very own village of humans? Bad news, dredger coming down from the north. We barely made it this far. That is dire news. Come on, we have food. Food! They have food! We'll discuss more in the mead house. As you follow the old Varl into their meager town, you catch him quietly saying, if it were anyone else. I've talked with the warriors here. I'll be honest with you. Half want to go north and find out what happened at Blotzbalker. But some think we should go to Grofheim instead. None of them are happy you're here. What do you think? If I had it my way, I'd stay here and let the dredge come. But you made this a problem, didn't you? We can't feed this many people for long, even if they don't eat much. This is a Varl town. Most of us take care of ourselves. You've got women and children. We could pitch in, make this place livable. Doesn't work like that. These Varl are here to get away from civilization, not make one. It's Krumer's call. It won't be long before dredge are here too. If there's one thing we should do, it's tell Jorundr what's going on. Who's Jorundr? Varl King. It's close to ones we have. Ingvar, where did you find these people? Stay here and rest, but once yours are ready to go, we do. I'm going off to see those who want to head north. Find those who want to head north. But I'll join you to Grofheim. Sorry, Alette. I'm sorry. Stop the pouting, girlie. Even if Jorundr won't listen to a tired old Varl like me, I have a feeling they'll pay attention to your friend Ingvar here. They'll listen to Ivor? He hasn't told you. Of course he hasn't. Do what you need to, but don't be long. Ivor, who are you? Or Ingvar, as they call you. Just take it easy for a while. People are noticing. They've noticed, have they? We're on the edge of dying daily, and you want me to take it easy? I should be plowing twice as many fields, you understand? Don't get us thrown out of this caravan, Mogan. It's not just you who suffers. So you get married, have kids, now I'm supposed to settle down too, yeah? What happened to the two brothers clam up as you approach? Hogan departs, leaving Mogan looking awkward. What's going on, guys? Just heard some yelling, came to check it out. Come running every time you hear yelling? Must be why you look so tired. He's not wrong. It's no secret. I like women, Rook. They like me. They like the scar. Forget it. Listen, all this death. Every night, half the caravan cries itself to sleep. Pathetic. Come on, Rook, be honest. This is good living. Half the world just tilling the soil till they keel over. What kind of life is that? We're lucky. You could go your whole life with no goals, no purpose, nothing to fight against but boredom and hunger. I'm glad for all this. Yeah. We should get a drink together, Mogan. Truthfully, always thought you were a bit of an ass before. Not interested in that's good, or oddly, that's also good. We get each other. You depart unsure whether you should be drinking with Mogan or not. We have no renown to spend on supplies. Krumer, can you spare a moment? Mostly no, but I'll try. I never had a moment to thank you for your hospitality. Consider it done. Who's Ingvar? Just surprised he can stand being around anyone at all. Your friend was one of us long ago. I mean the dredge bashing type. He was called Ingvar then. And if you want to know why I changed his name, best ask him yourself. I'm too old to peddling gossip. How did you get the Varl to follow you? Respect. After the Second Great War, wasn't much left for me to do, so I started training other Varl to fight. Got tired of that, made a place in Wormtow. They still come calling, even with no wars to speak of. Seems like that might be changing, though, don't it? Any wisdom on fighting dredge? Depends on how much you know. They're all armor, tap them hard enough and it'll shatter. Line up a whole row of slag and they'll explode on each other all the way down. You get in a big brawl, half your time is spent setting them up for it. If you see one bang his axe like a tuning fork, try to kill him quick. Sometimes the slag he's calling won't even show up. Bet you have some incredible stories. Or I could be the most boring Varl you've ever met. Depends on how much you like killing Dredge. Ask me someday, I might tell you about the time we filled a dead yox with whale teeth and why. I like this guy. I like this guy. It's, we have no reason to go to the market. We have no reason to really, well, is everybody healed up? Everybody's healed up. Really? We got Krumer in the group now? Fantastic. Leave map market. Rest. Our morale sucks. There's nothing left to do. We might as well just go. I mean, there's no reason to piddle around. Might as well get back to starving. Grolfheim's quite a few days out, says Krumer. But nothing worse than crossing the wastes, I imagine. If there's anywhere you might be safe from the dredge, it's there. You steel yourself for another long march, and half the town of Wyrmtoe joins you. Oh, good. We got 5 days of supplies. Thank God. That might actually get us there. A well-tended farm with plenty of livestock draws the caravan's attention. Upon your arrival, the farmer and his workers stand defensively within plain sight, crude weapons at the ready. Their crossed arms make their thoughts clear without a word. Offer some kind of trade for the livestock, intimidate the farmer. Come with us, it's not safe here. You warn the farmer of the approaching dredge, but the man spits and says, "This land is my life. I lose that, may as well be dead." The farmhands slowly nod their agreement, neither joining you or lowering their weapons. I was hoping that I would still get an opportunity to trade after asking him to come with us. An old man sits astride an overgrown portion of the trail. "You lost, you ask?" He adjusts the leather strap on his head and says, "No, are you?" He jumps up and shuffles toward the caravan, his tattered clothes revealing no weapons. "I've seen better," the old man says, peering into the supply wagons, "but I'll join you." He stands next to a fighter, throws his beard over his shoulder, and puffs up his chest. The fighter grins, and the stranger exhales, asking, "What are we waiting for? Lead the way." Who are you? "Call me Unar, or anything else you like," the old man says. "A man goes where he pleases, doesn't he?" His stern look is more comical than intimidating, but you stop looking for answers. I don't... we do already have enough mouths to feed. Feigning shock, the old man addresses a few of the children. "Careful you don't grow up like them." Unar never forgets. The old man looks at you, adjusts his leather head strap, and harumphs. He kicks a wagon wheel, winces, and limps away. I'm not even going to feel bad about that. I don't know if he's a fighter. He doesn't have any supplies with him. He has absolutely nothing to offer the group. I'm not going to give him what little rations we have left. Another Godstone. Got a bunch of Varl with us now. So that's good. Oh, morale sucks. The Godstone of Marek looms into view. Upon it carved a great ocean beast. Jagged stones jut out of the snow like shark fins. It's hard to imagine the Nordfelling wastes being filled with water at one time, but the Godstone stands as a reminder of the vast lake it used to look across. A blessing, shouts one of the men in your caravan, holding up what looks like a silver coin. It's a fish scale, he says, pointing out the rainbow pattern that shows in the sunlight. Soon a curious child has found another hiding in the snow, and then a third is discovered. Perhaps they'll bring us luck, you overhear, and before long the caravan has become obsessed with gathering the shining scales. Let the caravan take their time, cut them off after a reasonable amount of time. Leave now before this gets out of hand. We'll cut them off after a reasonable amount of time. When you awake to find people still searching through snow and shrubs, you call it off. We can't spend another day here, you tell them. Be glad for the luck you've found, and let's go before it runs out. They fret and moan, but eventually you get them back on the trail. I can just do nothing to make these people happy. Please tell me we're close to... Oddleaf calls you over, grinning. A row of women holding bows of different age and experience line up before a row of trees in the distance. They fire, doing an impressive job of hitting the trunks. I think they're ready to fill some dredge with feathers. One woman still hasn't shot her arrow. She stands perfectly still. The others watch. Just as the winds shift, she lets go, and her arrow flies into one of the trees. Into not one of the trees, but a snow rabbit that had scurried out from underneath. Dinner, she says, smiling. Group of men from the caravan approach. Listen here, says one. Practice all you want. My wife isn't fighting dredge. The other men agree in chorus. We don't want to see a battlefield full of dead wives and daughters. Stand by the women becoming fighters. Men argue their point, but eventually relent. Thanks, says Oddleaf. To be honest, it was harder than I expected. But the more people who can hold their own, the better. The women return to camp, not just as clansmen, but as fighters. You notice most of the Varl pacing while others sleep. Their brief conversations with each other and other clansmen grow shorter and shorter. Go away, roars one Varl at a young girl asking him too many questions. All the clansmen stop and stare. Break the tension by making a joke. I think you just ruined her dream of marrying a Varl boy, you say, timing your smile just right. The giant grins, then throws back his head with booming laughter. Other Varl join in the mirth, and the caravan feels a bit uplifted for it. Ha! The giant explains, we live in the Northford space. Endless miles of snow, ice, mountains, fields, space to be alone. But here there is no time for such things. Understanding slowly trickles through the caravan, relieving some of the tension. Hey! My morale has slightly improved. We're still on the verge of starving to death, though. So, you know, there's that. You hear a whistle on the wind and spot a long line of Varl up ahead, heading towards you. Behind them is a swarm of dredge and a trail of bodies leading off into the distance. Get down there, barks Krumer. I guess we're going into a battle. Don't let them spread out, shouts the lead Varl as you approach the battleground. I know him! Have we caught up with the other group? Soon you almost regret finding yourself fighting alongside them, facing off against a daunting number of dredge. Oh, this is going to suck. We're going to take a quick break here, because we've been on the road for a while. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is the Banner Saga Let's Play. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, hit the subscribe button if you like what I do. If you don't like what I do, I don't know why you sat through the entire video. So, you know, there's that mystery. I'm your host, Saigan. I will see you guys next time. Those watching on Twitch, I will be back after a short break.